was not stepping out of my home. So how to get that exposure, how to add new vocabulary words with, right? I failed for many times, but I did not give up. Surrounded with people, so it becomes a hard nut to crack. We have to sit, right? Because we need a calm place where we cannot be distracted by what is going on in our surroundings. So yes, I have to compromise with this place only, because this is the only place where these days I can sit and have my conversations.
Calm place
Okay.
and aesthetics also we need to take care of, because it's
Yes.
being broadcast.
I can't say aesthetic because it's just my cupboard. So how is it going to be aesthetic? It just, I would say, people, that you need to be have that perspective. You need to be fine. You need to find something aesthetic in my cupboard only. So,
Okay. Okay,
okay.
Neha, it's so nice to connect with you again. I was really looking forward to this conversation.
Same here, same here. And how are you doing today?
Well, I'm feeling quite accomplished today. I had a few sessions and they went really well. How about you?
My Monday starts with routine stuff, but yes, on every Monday I go to temple. So this is what
Hmm.
which makes my Monday different from other days. I feel stronger and rejuvenated whenever I go to temple, or when I visit my native place. So
Mhm.
I can say today I have recharged my batteries for the rest of the days, and I'm just ready to uh, impart my knowledge, ready to gain knowledge from my learners, co-learners, co-YouTubers, and I'm ready to bounce back to all the adversities.
Well, that's one way to go about it. So you consider yourself as a religious person. Uh,
Yes, I am.
right. I am more inclined towards spirituality, not very religious, but although I have strong faith in my religion, but I don't follow all the, rituals and anything like
Hmm.
that. Okay.
I would like
So
to.
tell,
I would
yes.
like. Yes, we can have a conversation because it's a very beautiful topic, and I love having conversation because
Mhm.
people, I guess everyone has their perspectives regarding on religious, being religious and being spiritual. So for
Mhm.
me, these both things go side by side,
Hand in
simultaneously, I would
hand,
say.
right? Hmm.
I am a religious person, but I consider myself spiritual also, because, as you just mentioned, that you don't follow rituals. I have the same point of view. If you say, in the name of being religious, I take a shower in the early hours, or I do my morning prayers or evening prayers with that, you know, strict or rigid routine. I'm not that kind of person. Hardly I go and sit there in front of my temple because but yes, I am a religious person, because for me religion is all about being a good human being. I strongly
Yes.
believe, yes, I strongly believe in humanity. I try not to harm anyone, right? Not with my actions and not with my words. I believe words hurt more than our actions, right? So I try to be humble with people. And if you talk about what is spirituality for me, so spirituality is all about knowing about myself. I try to become a better person. I try to introspect at times. This is what spirituality means to me, right? So
Hmm.
I don't visit so many of devotional places or temples. I don't go with that strict devotee kind of stuff. And you can see me if I talk about rituals. So in Himachal, we are supposed to wear bangles, put bindi and sindoor all the time, and so many things, right?
Hmm.
But I believe we need to be pious from within, right?
Right.
And I try to be a good human being. That's what I can do.
Yes,
I
actually,
can't
every
follow.
religion, if the religious activities and the religion transforms you into a God-fearing and a loving human being who cares about the rest of the humanity and people around them, not to hurt their feelings, and then it is good, right? So it
Yes,
drives you towards that force which actually brings goodness inside you. So to
exactly.
see, not only to feel that within you, the love, but to see the love among others also. Okay, but it
Right.
is a very sensitive topic, I must say, and
Yes.
I would rather refrain from discussing it because people have their own perspective into it and they tend to judge it a lot.
As I mentioned earlier, also earlier that it's completely my point of view.
Right, yes.
What religion or
And
spirituality
it's
means to
beautiful.
me. Yes, right. And I think um, each and every religion tells us the same: to be a good human being,
Right.
right? So
Absolutely, I
that's
agree
it.
with you fully there. I'm on the same page. And no religion teaches you any hatred or every
Any
religion is about loving each other, loving your co-human beings. Okay, so now what to discuss?
Okay, so let's just discuss normal questions which all the learners or people ask us or they have in their mind. Um, because you have your journey of
Mhm.
learning this language and now you are a communication coach. I just want to give you strong 3 points which as a learner you need to follow strictly. Okay, and 3 points which they need to avoid, because every time we discuss all the do's, but there should be a
Mhm.
list of don'ts which we need to follow. We have not to do these kind of things, or we should skip these mistakes while learning this language. So which should be the strong do's? Three or four, any it's your call. And don'ts, I want to discuss don'ts also.
Okay, okay, that's a very interesting question, and rightly put that we often don't go into, don'ts of learning English language, and we are focusing much on what to do, but not on what not to do. So I would like to begin with what not to do while learning to speak English language. So I am particularly only focusing here on the speaking part. Okay, not from the perspective that you are diving into learning this language from the perspective of being an academician or an English trainer or taking any competitive exams, but only to learn to communicate in your regular everyday life. So, from that point of view, I would like to point this out that do not begin with learning grammar. Often we commit this mistake that we dive too much into learning grammar structures and nitty-gritties of it, that we our focus, all our attention goes in the sentence structures and okay, am I using the right tense here? What is the right
Hmm.
verb form here? And people often, they hesitate while speaking because their all focus is mainly on grammar because they have spent too much time on learning grammar. So that is one don't there, but we cannot neglect it altogether. So what to do? So uh, begin learning this language as your native language. So remember, as when we started learning this native language, our learning started right from the birth. For 2 years, we were only listening to the language. Before we uttered our first word, and then we uttered two words, and then broken sentences, and then we learned in context. Okay, my mother, whenever she has to tell me to get up from bed, she uses these words, get up, in our native language, right? I'm speaking here in English, but that is what a child picks up from the environment. So, in the same way, as learners, we should try to pick phrases from the context. And when you immerse yourself in the environment of the target language, try to pick phrases from the context. Listening, listening, first focus on listening. Second focus, picking words and phrases from the context. Third is practice. Directly dive into speaking without thinking much about grammar or anything.
Mm.
So, how does that come? Immediately, you won't be able to, if you don't even know, if you are at just the beginner level, immediately you won't be able to speak. You will be speaking broken English. But that happens one with phrases, one with words, main two words you need to build in your vocabulary. One is nouns and one is verbs. So you need to know what are the name of the things that are around me when you start building your sentences. So you should know what to call something in English language, and then actions. If this action is happening, which words are to be used? If somebody is writing, so writing is the word that is to be used, and scribbling, writing, there are many words for the same word. So vocabulary building, I would say, is very important here. And then sentence structures, simple sentence structures, begin with that. And do not just focus much on grammar in the beginning. Eventually, over a period of time, you can do that. And then there are ways also, I often hear, young learners, they complain that vocabulary, whenever they are learning vocabulary, they are not able to memorize the words, and, they keep forgetting the new words. So there are methods to do that also. First, I would like to hear about your methods on that. What do you believe? How people can, learn vocabulary?
Okay, so my trick or my take on this is very simple. I often say, or I often tell my learners, whenever you try to learn words or new vocabulary, try to learn in a context. Don't go for
Yes.
random words which you
Mm.
just hear, which you just, if you are if you're jotting down so many words and you don't use, you are not able to use those words, it is of no use. So what I did, and still what I do and what I often tell my learners, first select a topic, okay, and then go for those words which can be used in context of that topic.
Mm.
Let's say if I have to discuss something related with books, reading or books, it's very easy. Go to Google, go to Chat GPT, ask some good phrases, idioms, or good vocabulary words regarding reading or books. You will find so many good words. Pick
Mm.
as per your choice and then try to use those words. And I bet if you do these kind of things, you will definitely able to use 2 to 3 new words while having these kind of interactions. That's what exactly I would do in my initial days, right? So because see, if let's say let's discuss something about exams or study. Okay, so exams, related with exams and studies, there are so many good idioms, phrases. If you want to pass with flying colors, you need to hit the books, right? If you want to ace this exam, pull up your socks and get ready to burn the midnight oil.
Mhm.
Initially you are not going to, or you will not be able to use all these idioms. Eventually, gradually, practice with practice, you will be able to use these kind of idioms and idiomatic expressions. Because when I started my journey, I took the subscription of English Yari, because that time I wasn't aware of Skype app and of
Sorry,
these
come
kind of
again. I didn't get that. What did you take subscription of?
English Yari. It's a
English
platform.
Yari. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, I have
yeah,
heard
okay.
about that.
Because I genuinely wanted some experts to talk with and who can guide me, or to get
Hmm.
that constructive feedback. And I wasn't aware of Skype at that time. So I took that subscription, and the very common feedback that I used to get was, you need to work on vocabulary, your vocabulary. You are confident enough, you express in a very beautiful way, but you use basic words. Now it was my problem how to update my vocabulary, because being a homemaker, I wasn't working, and still I don't work. I was not stepping out of my home. So how to get that exposure? How to add new vocabulary words without speaking? I won't like do that. So what I did, I tried so many things. Right? I failed for many times, but I did not give up. I was strong headed. So then I got with those, because learning is all about trials and tribulations. So with my consistent efforts, I got this trick. So whenever, because we used to discuss a topic there. So every time before discussing a topic, I would choose some words, and I tried to use those words in my discussions. So
Conscious
this is,
use.
yes, it was a conscious effort.
Right.
Sometimes, see, let's say if I learned a new word, new idiom, um, it should be to get back in the saddle. So now what I do, during my conversation, I create a situation. Deliberately, I do that, where I can use this idiom. But it is not that much easy. You need to be smart enough, and you need to be confident enough. And you will get this confidence with that consistent practice.
Over a period of time, just pick and
Yes,
choose in the current
pick and
situation
choose.
and
Yes,
just
you
put
will
it there.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes you are going to nail it. Sometimes you will fail. So you need, if you accept success with all the happiness, you need to admit your mistakes also, and you need to uh, accept your failure also.
Right.
You need to embrace your failure also. That's what I wanted to say. So that's it. Choose a topic, go for some words. Now it depends on your level. Are you able to get or use some idiomatic expressions? Then go for idioms. Otherwise, just stick to words only. And this trick will definitely work, because I am just talking about a very practical strategy. It's
You have
not,
had a
it's nothing that I
first-hand
have read.
experience in it, no?
Yes, yes.
And I must
So
say, you
that's why.
really put your nose to the grindstone there in order to elevate your conversational skills.
Yes.
And the way it has come up in even, the past few sentences that you said, you threw in a lot of idioms there, and it's really working for you. Okay.
I, yes, because see, that's what I always say. If I can, why can't you? Because there was a time when I wasn't able to use advanced word or phrases. Now you give me any topic, I can tell you so many idioms related with that topic. But it's the result of that hard work.
But idioms and proverbs, I think they go at a very advanced level. But if you are just a beginner or you are an intermediate learner, then you should first try to advance your vocabulary, consult a thesaurus, and I would like to add here that the greatest way that I find easiest way to memorize the words is by replacing it with the closest and the very basic, easiest synonym
Basic.
so that you do not have to remember the meaning and you don't spend your time a lot of time in remembering the meaning.
That, as I mentioned, that we need to identify a level first and how capable you are. So first, just stick to basic vocabulary. And you brought a very beautiful point here, that we need to go for the very basic synonym. That's what exactly I tell my learners. Let's say difficult. So every time, if you want to say that it's a difficult thing to do, just say bye bye to difficult and add some uh, synonyms, right? So as I keep telling
So
my
we can
learners, you can
replace it with tedious,
tedious, yes,
cumbersome.
monotonous. Yes, arduous.
Yes.
And one word which I am using these days, that is onerous. So that's what,
Onerous.
yes, I do. I try to keep these kind of activities, and
Mhm.
I try to give these kind of activities to my learners also. So this is the only way. This is the only way. First add words, then you can switch to idioms also. It's completely your choice, your call,
And
right?
I would like to add something here. Recapitulation also becomes quite important. Repetition,
Yeah,
recapitulating what you have learned, reflecting it back time and again, because then only it becomes active in your
right.
mind. Otherwise, these words will keep sitting passively in your mind and they'll never pop up in your conversations. So
True
that
that.
is
True
essential.
that. Yes, revision is must. Be it anything, be it a subject you are preparing for an exam, or be it this language or any language. If you are not revising your stuff, if you are not recalling, that is why if we don't revise, we are not able to recall those words. So
Mm.
revision is must. We can't skip this part. So nice. Okay, so I think we discussed a very beautiful part about learning this language. And before we wrap this session up, I want to know, according to you, is confidence a thing which we need to build up, or this is something we get from our parents, or we need to build up this as a trait of our personality?
I really like this question, and especially when you are putting it to me, who has had a journey from being a diffident to confident speaker. So confidence, it actually comes with more exposure. And you definitely, there is nothing like inherent confidence. You definitely need to work on it. You need to build it up. And uh, confidence comes with knowledge. When you possess the knowledge, it automatically gives you that edge. And you have that knowledge, you start giving a confident demeanor. But then there are some people who actually face this challenge of, not being able to interact publicly. And if they are an introvert personality and they haven't had a lot of exposure, like many homemakers who do not get a lot of exposure to interact with people. So there, one saying, if you have heard, fake it till you make it.
Make it right.
So, right. So initially, you might have to fake it that yes, you are confident and you possess that knowledge and you have the great speaking skills, and you might be getting butterflies in your stomach and
True that.
right.
True
So
that.
your stomach might get tightened there, but then let it not reflect in your personality.
Yes.
Just push yourself to go through that phase. Eventually, you will reach a part, you will reach a place where you'll feel confident to express yourself. So, definitely, it is a skill that can be worked on, that can be built on.
Yes. Yes. And you just reminded me of all those days when I used to face my son's teachers during the PTM, and I, pretend to be confident enough. But initially, somewhere I had butterflies in my stomach. But yes, again, with that consistent practice, now I have that confidence that I can have interaction with anyone with that confidence. All in all, the moral of the story or the gist of the conversation is, you need to be consistent enough, you need to be determined enough, and you need to be focused, right? And if you are accepting your success with all that grace, so embrace your failure also. Uh, Try to work on your mistakes. Don't afraid of making mistakes, but do not repeat your mistakes,
Mm.
right?
That is, I think,
Work on
very
your
important.
mistakes.
You
Hmm.
touched on a very important point there, because if we keep on repeating those same mistakes, what is the point of even learning? You
Yes.
need to work on that.
Right, right. And sometimes what happens, it's a human tendency when we start something, we are just full of beans. But if we face a little problem, it's like if we face any blame, so all the enthusiasm just fizzles out. So be consistent. That's what all I want to say. You're going to face success also. You're going to face failure also. These success and failure go side by side. So don't just be very sad or upset on trivial stuff. Just focus on your goal, and you are good to go. That's it.
I couldn't agree more with you there.
Okay. So thank you so much for sparing some time for this wonderful conversation. And again, I am still looking for forward or looking for another session.
Complete pleasure of mine, and we are a community. We'll definitely keep on connecting there. So thank you so much for connecting with me.
Yes.